Ocean's 8 almost feels like a remake of Ocean's 11, only with all-female characters. We have Sandra Bullock, who plays Debbie Ocean in this case, and she at the start is getting out of jail, promising to go straight and never do another dodgy deal ever again, and it was framed that she put her in jail, and she gets out and goes to see her best friend, played by Cate Blanchett, and tells her about this scheme she has to make millions in a daring robbery. It's very similar to Ocean's 11, and yeah, that's about it. There is more elements to the story, but to tell you all about them would actually spoil most of it. There is 8 members of this heist, hence the title Ocean's 8, who all play similar parts to pretty much most of the other Ocean's movies. If you've seen them, you'll know roughly what you're getting with this. It's one of these movies that has some definite pluses and some definite minuses. Some of the good things are one specific fantastic thing that the movie has is Cate Blanchett, who is amazing and looks just effortlessly cool in almost every scene that she is in, smirking away or wearing the most garish clothes, but somehow making them look super fantastic and awesome. The interplay between the two main characters of Bullock and Blanchett is pretty good, and I enjoyed seeing them, but the story itself is a little bit lackluster. And I think most of my problems with this movie falls down to the direction. I don't think it's as flashy or as coherent as Soderbergh would do. There is familiar directing traits all the way through the movie, and then almost as if by remembrance copies a little bit of Soderbergh, but it's not that same aesthetic all the way through the movie, and it doesn't have his deft touch that really gives these kind of movies that panache that they need. The worst thing I could say about Ocean's 8 is that it's completely mediocre. It never achieves greatness, but it never goes down to boring or trite nonsense. It just safely sails that middle of the road averageness that is a movie that you don't really want to talk about too much. We get the introduction of all these characters, and unlike with Ocean's 11, they're not introduced as if they're people that the characters have known before. In the Ocean's 11, all these people had connections, they all kind of knew each other. This one, they're all just kind of thrown together and somehow have this utmost trust. You know, thieves with honour is something that movies have taught me that is very rarely happens, but luckily for this person here, she manages to find 7 other people who are quite happy to have that. We get Sarah Paulson's character, who's one of the more interesting ones, of this wife who can't seem to break herself away from the sort of dirty dealings, even though she has a life outside of it. And I would like to have seen that character explode more. In fact, I would like to have seen a lot of the characters explored more. Everybody in this is just surface. You know, you get an instant idea of this character and you get nothing else about them. You get no really backstory or too much history. Everything that is put into the story is there for a specific purpose. You know, if you find out a history element about a character, it's not there to enlighten the character. It's there because it's going to come into the story later on, and everything feels plot driven and not character driven. Now, of course, it's a heist movie, and we do get that heist at the end, but it's laid out a lot more in front of us than, say, other heist movies. We're told almost everything that's going to happen, so when it's actually happened, it's not fun, inventive, or insightful, because we kind of knew it was heading that way, most of it. They do pull the rug slightly at the end by giving you something that they'd never mentioned at any point, any other time throughout the movie. I feel as if I'm being ultimately harsh with Ocean's 8, but it's only because of the pedigree of the movies that came before it. I wanted something better than I got. I got something that was mediocre, and that's a shame. It's the worst thing I can say about it. The movie was fine. If I had to give it a score, I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5. It does nothing wrong, but it does nothing great in the same beat as well. I really wanted to like Ocean's 8 more than I did, and I'm kind of disappointed it wasn't better than I hoped. Overall, it's just average, and that is probably the most damning thing I could say about it. I'd love to know your opinion of the movie. Let me know in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on Man vs Film.